We are?
Yeah.
Because
We are gonna have a good
I was
time.
told I
Oh,
had.
I hope so. This is a one-way flight.
you were told that you had to have a good time. You were
Yeah.
required
made
to.
him.
It's actually contractual. Yeah, so this is the third episode of the CCTV podcast. It is Valentine's Day 2020, in case you're listening to this like 2 years in advance, or 2 years in advance.
In-
You know what that means, right?
Shout out.
It
You know what
means
that
half
means?
of us are alone.
Oh no, it means
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
yes, I have this thing on ready at all times.
I forgot Walter had a soundboard.
Yes.
So yeah, happy Valentine's Day. And Gio has a very specific prompt for today.
Do I?
Ooh, very specific. Apparently, you texted it to me.
Yeah.
I did. Actually.
Well, these in, we're gonna have a casual podcast with the theme in mind of being at Valentine's Day.
Yes. Would you like to read the whole thing, Walter? The whole
No.
text? Okay, then
My
don't.
phone's locked right now. I was verbatim, actually.
I mean,
it was
I have
close.
it too, but I have to scroll back a couple of...
You don't have to. But
But
yeah, it's Valentine's Day, so I wanted to, just get your thoughts on a couple of things. The first being, like, what makes a really good love story? Like, what has to happen for you to be invested in the story like that?
And we're doing it just kind of all in, right? We're not doing...
You can do whatever you want.
Do whatever. It's a talk
Did
show.
Popcorn read.
Popcorn.
We'll draw
Right.
lottery numbers.
Yeah.
Sticks. We draw sticks.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
more partial to straws.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, with the
They
turtles.
better be reusable straws, though.
Paper straws, yeah.
Let me just get a laser cutter and cut these metal straws in different sizes.
Bet.
Well, if nobody else is gonna...
You can go first, dear.
Okay.
This is her
So I would say for me, like a good love story in anything. I mean, mostly books because they have so much time to do so, but like video games and movies as I would say like both of the characters have to have like an actual personality.
That was one of the things I was gonna say. It's like if
Like,
you
you can't just shoehorn a relationship into a story just because you think it might be cute. Like there are a bunch of other kinds of relationships. A romantic one is only one of them, and it doesn't work if one or neither of your characters doesn't have a personality.
Exactly.
So it's like, and also they, along with that, which is kind of the same thing, they have to actually like have like they have to be a good couple. Like they can't just you can't just throw characters together and be like, this'll work. Like
now kiss.
Yeah,
Like-
like I've not that I've read a lot of fan fiction, but
Yeah, I think you have. I wouldn't be surprised.
Walter, you can't prove that. And like occasionally people will take like literally like they'll take characters that are already in canon and are already like together in canon, but that like they rewrote and they have none of the personality and none of the chemistry that they had in the canon material, but still have them go together.
Like, why?
And I just like I'm so confused. Or like some of their OCs like just don't have any personality, and it's like don't have the relationship if the people don't. But I think to make a really really good love story, there has to be some sort of like dynamic between the two. They can't just fall in love. That's it. Like
Yeah,
there
for
has
no
to be some
reason.
sort of like there has to be an actually good connection.
That ties in what I was saying. Like, I hate to see like how it's not like just like a normal person. I would say like it's just some perfect entity of just like matter happens to stroll across this other perfect entity, and I'm like, this doesn't happen very often, right? Like even famous people are like a mess. Have you seen like candid photos of them going to Whole Foods?
Stars, they're just like you. Yeah, and like that hot second where Taylor Swift and oh my god, Tom Hiddleston were like rumored to be dating. It's like, look, just because he's a polite guy and he like walks her to a car doesn't mean that they're dating. Like it means that in fan fiction, but it doesn't mean that in real life.
Tom Hiddleston, didn't he wear the I Love Taylor?
Yeah, she gave him a
shirt?
T-shirt that he wore.
Yeah.
I think they were actually like rumored to be a thing for a couple weeks, and then they both came out and said that like, no, this isn't a thing.
Oh,
It was like, people like, yeah,
why lead us on?
don't ship people in real life, guys. It doesn't.
That's weird. That's strange.
Yeah.
Unless they're actually dating, maybe. But okay.
Yeah.
But don't.
Stop it.
Get
Get
some
some
help.
help.
Get some help.
What about you, Ryan?
I mean, I think there is no right way to tell a love story. I've read a lot of trashy romance novels because I enjoy them.
Oh my god, Ryan, I found the one that we found in Utah.
Really?
It's in. Where did I say it was? It's in my closet. Didn't we find it?
It's a weird place for it.
Yeah.
I even read a book, so it was called Knock Me for a Loop, and it was a knitting-based romance novel. Well, kind of knitting-based. There's a magical, I don't know how to say the word skein.
Skein.
Of yarn.
A skein of yarn. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's this magical skein of yarn that this woman gives to all these people who need to find love, and if you knit with it, the person you give it to is therefore going to fall in love with you. And like even on that basis, and with magical realism involved, I still think romance can be found anywhere. And in terms of, I think characters do need to, be characters for me to care about the love story. But I think my personal involvement with the love story is different than whether or not a love story.
Yeah.
I can agree.
And like I've liked love stories for very like not very good reasons. Like there's I'm just gonna use Harry Potter as an example, but the like one of the favorite ships in the Harry Potter fandom is Draco Malfoy's son and Ron Weasley's daughter. Yeah. And I don't know why, but apparently that's like the Romeo and Juliet ship is just the thing that I like. And like I tend to find fan fictions that I actually want to read sometimes. Anyway. And I said I said I didn't read a lot of fan fiction.
No, it sounds like you're much more of a enthusiast.
So, like I think, yeah, I mean, like you said, I love can be found anywhere. But I really think that like the way that they're written has to be good enough for me to even decide to care about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I had an example and I've now forgotten it.
Like of a good.
Because Tommaso walked in as I was about to open my mouth, and my whole train of thought is just.
Fucking, you were really mad that I went for the in.
Oh yeah.
With Commander
Shepard. Well, that's one of them. That's definitely a good example. Like, I think that Ashley and Caden have absolutely zero personality, like throughout the entirety of the Mass Effect trilogies. And if you romance them, you get there's no benefit. You get nothing out of it, and I have no interest in either of them.
They're very flat characters.
You don't necessarily have to romance them, but even then, like even if you don't romance them, they're still horrible characters, and I have no interest in them. But like, have you guys seen or played The Force Unleashed?
No. That's old.
That's old.
Not in a long time.
But the way that even in and people don't hold the Force Unleashed games with that high regard, but I thought they were really good. But the way that Starkiller like develops throughout the story, not only through himself but through his relationship with Joe, is really cool because both of them have development and both of them have character. One of the scenes at the very end of The Force Unleashed 2, we find out that the Starkiller has been was a clone the whole time. Plot twist. In case you guys were playing the game, it's a major spoiler.
Yikes.
but Darth Vader is like, your feelings for her are not real, and he responds, well, they're real to me. And I'm like, yo, they are real to you, bro. You go, bro. And it felt real. Like he had emotion, and it was good. And then, you know, if there's no emotion or no reason to like these characters, then you're not going to invest me at all in what happens to them. Like on the other end, I know this is not considered at all a love story, but it is a love.
I wonder if you're gonna say what I'm thinking of.
It's a subplot. The romantic subplot of Dead Space. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, there is. See, in 2, Isaac and Ellie are like, you have attachment to both those characters, but in 3, Ellie has 0 personality. There's nothing interesting about her going on other than the fact that she left you and then all of a sudden wants you back. And I'm like, I honestly couldn't care less if you lived or died at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, there has to be substance. There has to be personality. You have to have a reason for me to care.
When you're playing a video game as the protagonist or antagonist, doesn't really matter. Is it different what you're looking for in an in-game relationship for your character than when you're reading it or something along the lines of
that is for me.
Like, are you saying is it different as the player because you are like you're actually actively going towards something, but as a reader you're hoping something will happen?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's mostly the time frame.
Yeah.
Because books, for me, have a very. This is gonna get weirdly metaphysical, but books for me have a very different personal temporal frame, if you will, than video games do. Like, and so like for me, video games seem to happen. They could span a very long time, lifetime wise. But for me, video games happen very quickly. They seem to happen in very quick order, whereas books tend to take a lot longer for me. Just like in the way that I think of their.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I just said Romeo and Juliet, which is a play that takes place over 3 days, but it doesn't matter. But like, I think for me, I can sort of forgive what I would consider in books lackluster relationships in video games because my sense of time in a video game is so warped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I think it is. I think you're right, Walter. Like, if you are actually the person controlling it, I mean, I mean, obviously, it was. Fuck every time. Babe, can I say your...
Wow. Well, she's dead.
Bring a special announcement.
I mean, I think something about books. I feel have a certain longevity in your mind. And in the first episode of the podcast, you guys were talking about.
I lived.
Sort of.
Awesome.
Yay.
I lived.
How certain video games have that lasting effect in your head, and I feel like when you read, because not for everybody, but for a lot of people, reading is such a more selective activity than video games. Of a relaxing activity. I think those narrative book love stories last with people a lot more significantly. Just because of the kind of medium at which you're consuming. And books are so much more open to your interpretation. Like,
really, books are extremely subjective.
Yeah, there's so much of yourself that you put into the relationships that you're reading about.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, book romances are so much easier to just be like, I bet the author meant this, or like, I'm looking at them. Like, I feel like in a video game, you just
Gatsby's green light.
Exactly. I feel like in video games, you're seeing something totally just designed for you to watch.
Yeah. And also, like, I think, for like, because books take place I mean, if you think about it, books take place completely in your own mind.
Yeah.
And so, like, when you are presented with an actual visual representation of something that someone has created for you, like that's so much different.
Yeah, it's even
like
sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
no, go ahead. I was just gonna ramble. So go ahead.
I was gonna say it's even like a book experience is totally changed when you have like seen the trailer for the movie version of the book,
Oh my
and you like have those people's faces stuck in your head the entire time you're reading it, and even then it makes like a whole different
yeah.
experience for you to read, being like, these are not the people that I would have imagined, but they're the people I have to see now.
One of my favorite books that has one of my favorite romances in it is called The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society.
Yeah.
Don't ask. And they came out with a movie of it.
Yeah, on Netflix.
But I haven't watched it yet. And
I've
partly
heard
because
it's really good.
partly because of what you just said, where it's like once you see it, like it, that's how it is in your brain forever.
Yeah.
But also that particular book is written in letters from back and forth from people.
Yeah.
Like it's all written in correspondence.
Exactly.
How do you make that into a movie?
Let's see.
Magic.
Movie.
So I'm just so afraid to see it because it's my favorite novel, and but the romance that is written in those books that particular book, extremely well done, I think.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about the movie from people who have.
No, I've heard it's good. I'm just so afraid to see it.
Don't be afraid. Embrace it.
Don't be afraid.
Like I wish I had enough money to pay actors to like make books or to make movies like specifically tailored to how I want them to look.
Oh god.
Yeah. I still don't think there's like any amount of money that would.
No, unless you made the books unless you made the movies like 16 hours.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished
multiple series.
I finished the book on Monday, and then like that same night watched the film adaptation of it, and it was just so bizarre seeing the decisions the movie made. Because I was like,
yeah,
why would you make this person her sister? There's no reason for them to be related. And
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, that's like I read Sense and Sensibility, which is one of the classic romance novels, and I watched Sense and Sensibility, and then I read the book, and the relationships are all different. Like there's the sisters and the mother, but then like in the movie, Mrs. Jennings is not related to them, but in the book, she's like the mother-in-law or something. Like Anyway, I'm sorry.
Now, I do want to put out my unpopular opinion, and you guys can join in on your, favorite romance movies, books, games. I would say, and actually, make it your unpopular opinion one. I want to say Venom is my unpopular opinion romance.
I've never seen Venom.
Wait,
what of what?
Relationships are unconventional love stories.
Unconventional.
So you what?
Oh, between Eddie Brock and
Venom?
the symbiote.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes, between Eddie Brock and the symbiote. I think they're like how Gio says for Dead Space. There's an underlining romance story between the symbiote and Eddie Brock.
Yes. I think that's a pretty.
God.
And I have.
I've
you have to be the person that agrees with me.
I mean,
Walter, I have seen actually fan art because I am on Tumblr all the time. I have seen fan art of that, like people illustrating the relationship between them. I actually think that's really funny. So, like, I agree.
Thank you for understanding.
Having not seen or ever seen a Venom movie.
There's only one.
There's only one.
We technically.
No, wasn't he in another one?
He was in.
It was Venom's solo
He was
movie.
in the other Spider-Man
Oh,
series.
Okay.
The one with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Pizza time.
Edgy Maguire.
Yeah. Oh my god, unpopular opinion.
I like all romance movies. There's a couple I think are weird. I watched Hitch again, and I love Hitch. It's one of
Hitch
my
is
favorite
great.
movies.
Hitch is great.
And I'm just like deciphering it because I watched it and I was like, is this a problematic film? Are there problematic moments in this movie? And I think there might be. Because like there is the whole, practice of actively lying to the person you're gonna spend your life with.
Yeah.
Still a great movie.
What is Hitch? I've never heard of it.
Hitch is Will Smith is a
Dude.
guy, and his job is to get men with the woman that they have a crush
Oh, he's like a pickup
he's a-
artist kind of thing.
No,
like he
Matchmaker.
trains. Yeah, a
Matchmaker?
matchmaker. Oh, okay, a matchmaker.
on, but like he also facilitates the matching.
Okay.
'Cause the
Oh,
girls have,
okay.
like, actively shown disinterest in the men, and he's like, he just decides what women want a little bit in the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's not what you should do, but
But here we are.
it's also a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I
It's
agree.
classic.
Oh my god.
You can use one of your fan fictions. It's okay. We won't judge you.
Well,
I'm gonna
my
judge
fan
you.
fictions are Harry Potter fan fictions. So it doesn't matter.
I read a Harry Potter fan fiction that was
Who is?
a-
What was it?
it was it was Rose Weasley,
Uh-huh.
and it was it was 27 dresses but with Harry Potter characters.
What was it called?
Let me find
Okay.
Rose Weasley and the incredibly sized.
Was it Rose Weasley and Scorpius Malfoy? Was that the?
I mean, I'm sure it was.
Okay, you don't actually have to find it. It's fine.
Send it to her.
I mean,
No, it is. Yeah. I
What?
just saw the word Scorpius. Don't know where I saw it. There it is. Yeah, it is.
what is
That's
it called?
It is called Rose Weasley's 27 Dresses.
Oh, it's actually called that. Oh, then I haven't read it. Never mind.
Well, because I like the movie 27 Dresses quite a bit.
No, I haven't
I
seen
think
it.
they're really.
So unconventional love stories, like kind of going off of what Walter said. Sergeant Cooper and BT, without question.
Oh my gosh.
Without question.
What do they have to? Are they? You know, they're love stories. Okay, because I was gonna say, is it like? I would say unconventional in the sense that the movie itself is unconventional. I would say my two favorites are probably Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which would probably be like my problematic fave because it's like there's just some jokes that are made in Scott Pilgrim that like it's one of my favorite movies.
A little too edgy.
But like so one of the things I don't like about it is his girlfriend at the beginning of the movie is this 17-year-old Chinese schoolgirl. She's a schoolgirl in America, but she's Chinese.
Oh,
And her name is Knives Chow. And that's what it is in the comic book.
Okay.
But just and they make it palatable, but at the same time I'm like, if you have to make it palatable, it's problematic.
But the name is not palatable.
Her name is Knives Chow, and she makes a couple of jokes about it throughout the. I don't know if it's just me overreading it, but like the way that it's done, it feels weird to me.
They steered too much for
like
the Asian.
it was almost unnecessary. But it's also based on a comic book, so like I don't know if that's a mistranslation from.
I have to read. I just gotta read it. I guess I'm a little confused. I'm like, what do you want her name to like? Do you want like Johnson to be her last name? Like
No,
Knives Johnson?
and they make it so like her character works with it, and it like makes it okay. But there's another thing that they do, and I can't remember. But there's a joke in it that always makes me cringe, and I have no idea what it is.
Like a good cringe, or like a bad.
Nah, like I don't know if that's okay, but like I don't know. But I really like in Scott Pilgrim. I really like Scott and Ramona, because Ramona does not take. Scott is a loser, and Ramona doesn't take any of that. Like she doesn't take his like an excuse.
Yeah.
If he's gonna have her, he's gonna have to shape up. And he does. And then I think my other favorite is the way that the love story is told in Alien. Or not Alien, The Arrival. Sorry, not
I'm
Alien.
like, first of all, you've seen Alien. Second of all, what do you mean?
I meant The Arrival, and I was thinking Aliens,
It's the
so I said
Weaver
Alien.
and the Alien.
There's a romantic subplot of the movie Alien. Scott Pilgrim gets the girl.
No,
I'm just like,
it's with
excuse
Amy
me?
Adams. Amy Adams and Jeremy. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Okay, it's really cool. And I highly recommend it. But it's not linear storytelling.
Yeah.
Horizontal?
Huh?
What?
That would still be
Walter.
linear dum
No,
dum.
it's circular storytelling.
Oh, of course.
So you have to piece together kind of like what's going on. I really like movies like that. I really like abstract movies like that. Like that and oh, it's with Jim Carrey, and it's that
The
you can
Grinch.
erase memories.
You're right.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Damn, Ryan.
A series of misfortunate events?
Thank
I
you.
know a lot of it.
The romantic subplot series of fortunate.
I think there actually is one.
There is one. Oh
I
my
actually
God,
enjoy the romantic subplot of The Mask.
There literally is
I
a romantic story within the map.
actively disagree.
I-
I think The Mask is secretly the most problematic movie ever made.
Yeah.
The Mask
Except for
is-
the giant kick line with all the policemen. I do like that.
Okay. That's an episode for another day.
That's a different podcast.
yeah, that's a whole different bag of
A
worms.
full
Yeah.
hour of the problems within the map.
The
I mean,
problematic,
The Mask
yeah.
is Ace Ventura.
No,
Ace Ventura is messed up. Is
Okay.
your number still
Oh my God,
911?
Ace Ven- oh my God.
Alrighty then.
Okay, let's. Ace Ventura is one of my favorite movies, and I'm really ashamed of that fact. But it's so it's
Yeah.
so bad. Like
We don't necessarily have to talk about the problematic of the love stories.
I just you brought it up, and I just
That's
felt like I
fair.
had to say that.
That's fair.
Like
That's fair.
yeah.
I don't think
Ready
it
for
was
a
ever
relationship
planned.
yet, Lois? You want to call me some? I'll come you call sometime. Your number's still 911.
Alrighty
Alrighty then.
See the show.
Can I ask you a question?
Gosh, she really likes this movie.
I love it.
Anyway,
So what do we need for a love story? Let's sum up ?
like a substance of character. Like you have to care about the characters in order to be
Yeah.
invested.
You know, some
in the
realism,
relationship.
unless it's like a cartoon, I guess. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
I do not need realism.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't
his
need-
favorite one
I
is
don't-
Space Jam.
Oh my God.
I love Space
think-
Jam.
I think you need characters who are compelling. But I think what a love story is varies for almost.
Yeah.
And it's really because I think in love stories we're all looking for reflections of ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
And also, like, I think it's really important to say that, like, because it's Valentine's, like, we're specifically talking about romantic relationships, but like also I feel like the types of love stories that aren't about romantic love, like about familial love or about
Like Gilmore Girls.
What?
Like Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, or like
Saffron's.
like I mean, obviously many of those different types of relationships happen within like love stories, romantic love stories, like Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. They have strong like familial relationships and friendship relationships, and like I think that like sometimes like it's so important that like we remember like not like today is obviously romantic relationships, like Valentine's Day was invented for that, but
Little
like
Singles Awareness Day.
sorry,
Shut
singles well, there's like I'm gonna milk this. Yeah, and I think if a love story has like, if it's not, I mean, obviously if it's a romance novel, then yeah, like it's gonna center around a romantic relationship. But like, I also become attached to a love story if the other kinds of relationships in that love story are strong.
Exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. Like
Yeah.
if the person is not a character outside of the relationship, it's hard to really engage with that love story.
Yeah, they need to feel
Yeah.
like each of them needs to feel like a character
Yeah.
with or
And in
without
the
the
same way
person
that,
that they're
like,
with.
In the same way that like one of your friends starts dating a significant other and they completely like they drop off the face of the earth because they're always with them and they don't ever interact with people outside of them. Like that's happened to me a couple times and I'm just like
You know,
this
Gio
is
did the
not
same thing to me.
What do you mean? You're literally right here.
and like I mean, you know, when you're in high school, it's so hard to balance, and so like it's hard to see that happening. But like when I see like adults doing that, like it just seems so destructive. Like you have to have other relationships to make your romantic relationship worth it. You know, like or not worth it, but like there's a lot of pressure because my boyfriend is sitting right behind me.
I mean, I think it's a little bit foolish to think that only romantic relationships sustain.
Yeah.
No, you gotta have that self-love.
Yeah, self-love,
Love
friend
yourself.
love, family love.
Yeah, it's true. Self-love for Singles Awareness Day.
Hey. Yo, just me.
That's it. That's all
Walter.
you're
No,
getting.
it's just Walter in this whole world.
Just Walter.
I'm living-
Walter represent.
I'm living my best life right now.
That's good, Ben. I'm glad you're living your best life.
Yeah. Good for you, Walter.
Yeah,
Today was actually a great day, so I'm not even complaining.
Yeah? What did you do?
Ooh, radio silence.
Walter?
Walter?
He died from having a
Oh
good
my
time.
god. We killed him. Walter? Huh.
I think he's dead.
Yikes.
He's typing. He said
Well,
Lol, I did.
DCD.
huh.
Classic Walter. Well, my degree came today, which was really exciting.
Hey!
So I got to hang that up and on the wall. I won my first ever raffle last semester at like a winter graduates thing,
Oh yeah?
and I got a huge frame that's like $150.
Oh.
So I put it up on my wall today. I was like, I would never buy this in a million years. But it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
fancy.
I don't mine is like in a file folder somewhere.
Yeah, that's probably where it should be because you're supposed to like, you know, have it as an important document, but not. And mine's on
Yeah.
the wall.
I mean, a
Right.
lot of people hang theirs up.
Yeah.
Like-
I got nothing else going on right now, so
Yeah. Didn't you have a second question? Wasn't there like
There
a second?
is.
Oh,
Hey.
hello.
Hello, are you alive?
It works.
Nice.
Hey!
Welcome back.
My internet
Perfect
was like, no,
timing.
thank you.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Perfect timing, Walter. We were just about to start the second part.
Oh, you.
part 2.
So, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, the second part of this conversation, the arguably less intellectual of the two questions, is who is your number one most attractive character in pop culture? Like, it can be games, it can be movies, it can be what it can be
I'm
literally
sorry.
whatever you want.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, great. Now I have like.
This says video game character.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be real.
Video game character.
I feel like when you
Well,
sent it to
it's-
me,
get-
it
get
said something
surprised.
different, and then I read it today, it says something else.
Well, get
That shows a
surprised.
real person. And, like, switched
Well,
it to
that's
the
also
game character.
wrong. Well, that's also wrong.
Well.
What? So I can't choose real people? I have to choose video game characters?
I mean, if you choose a character from a movie that can be a person who plays them.
Oh,
or like
I'll
somebody.
be
from
real.
Kids.
I might have been just like on a weird just fever dream. I thought it said your favorite content creator, so I was like, oh no, I know this like movie star creates content and is like a director and whatnot.
Who is it, Walter? I have to know.
No, that's
Out of
another
like
day. That's another day.
no, not I don't mean this content creator hate.
I get that.
I meant
I get that, but I think that's another day.
it's another day. But I'll talk
Another day.
about
Okay, all right.
a different content creator hate the world.
Oh, well, see, the first part of the question said it could be a movie, it could be a game. Anyway,
So you
What
should
if we
think
did
Corona.
like a Haven calendar?
no.
My type one would
Cease.
be
Walter,
Geo better
Walter,
out of Geos.
who's your top 10? Who's your number one?
Top
Number one?
10.
Top 10?
Oh,
Give us your top 10. Don't.
I got 3. I only put 3 on there.
You can
actually,
give
'cause
us
I was
3.
confused. Okay, so I would say actor, definitely Zendaya.
That's fair.
yeah. Okay.
She's a great actor, honestly. Also very like, gorgeous and like great personality, honestly.
Hilden, shake it up.
Yeah.
True.
10 out of
Also,
10.
I just like a rendition of Mary Jane from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Are any of us really here?
no,
Woo. Let's.
and then tied for two games, definitely gonna be Curie from Fallout 4
Okay.
and Dokkaebi from Rainbow Six.
Also fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are my 3. I don't got nothing else.
All right. Cool.
Kelly.
I'm thinking. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Somebody else go.
Ryan.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. When you
Um,
sent it to me, it just said video games. So like I'm trying to think of other things as well.
I didn't know I was allowed to go outside of video games. Also,
Okay.
the most realistic looking video game I play is Super Mario.
Super what?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
Most
Odyssey.
realistic?
I'm like,
I
what?
don't really play a lot of games with real looking people. So I didn't-
Sims?
No, I do not play.
Walter, please.
So yeah.
But who's
I don't
attractive?
have who's attractive? I think the main character of Hollow Knight has a lot of attractive.
I think it's the
Hollow Knight.
I
Basically, I'm baby.
think stoic and strong and self-driven. I find that pretty cool. I actively don't play story-driven games because I find them boring, and I just skip through it.
Thank you for being so straightforward.
Wow.
This is
Yes,
what
our boy.
this is
Look
what Ryan finds attractive. This is peak male
They have
performance.
Attractive qualities. Hey, you do not know that as a male, sir.
I think it's specified actually.
I don't think it does.
I don't know the lore. I haven't played that much of the game. They just seem strong, and that was the game that was up on my Steam library. Definitely don't find Super Meat Boy attractive.
No, I would say no as well. I mean, while we're on the topic,
I think Tom Holland is very.
Tom Holland is very
Yes.
attractive.
I would agree.
Yeah, man, go.
Like, damn.
And no, very seems very fluid, acrobatic. Clearly has a sense of their surroundings. Like I think they're very capable.
Also, they know how to use a knife, so I don't want to argue.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? Stab me?
They're called nails. And
Snails?
Nails. For stabbing.
Nails. That is quite literally a needle for sewing, but we'll go with nail.
No, they're
It's
called
true.
nails.
Ryan's like, I don't care. They're called nails.
I don't care. Kelly.
This is money for chicken nuggets.
Kelly. Go.
Ellie.
Okay. Well, I just finished watching The Witcher.
It's the
Boo.
witch. It's not the witch. Okay.
It's not The Witch. Although I have it on good authority that many of my friends think Yennefer is like the tops. And she would be essentially the witch. The green eyeshadow that she wears is really off-putting for me. I just don't. It's not.
Completely understand.
It's just odd. I would say one of my favorite pop culture. I would say Poison Ivy, the Bombshells comics.
Valid.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Specifically, just that one.
Out of 10, Kelly?
I really
out of
like
10?
her character. Huh?
Out of 10.
Nobody else had to rate out of 10, Gio.
Yeah, but I'm pressuring you to do out of 10.
Why?
Because
Because you're a woman.
Why, Gio?
because I said so. Out
Why?
of 10. What's
But
Poison
why?
Ivy? What's Poison Ivy out of 10?
What is Poison Ivy out of 10?
Only for the bombshell.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in anything.
Because she hasn't played any of the Arkham games because she's a loser.
Get him. I think I have a Poison Ivy.
I mean,
Like,
I like a solid 8 at least.
like good or
Nice.
bad.
I mean,
Like,
to be
good or-
fair, she walks around most of the Bombshells comics in just fine lingerie. So like,
Nice.
That's confident.
that's her.
Oh.
That's her cover. She's a lingerie shipper to Catwoman in Vienna.
Shipper or
Like she ships them. She
Yeah, but
ships.
I don't think people who
so she's a
lingerie-
businesswoman.
Well, I mean, she uses it to ship arms.
Yeah.
During World War II, but they're covered in lingerie. So
Hey.
that... What?
Spoiler alert for the bombshell company.
Well, no, that's like when you first meet her. It's not a spoiler. It's fine. Yeah, I'd say. I don't know.
Okay, Gia, who are yours?
Well-
Captain America. I've always liked Captain America. I've always thought that Chris Evans is
Patriot.
He is attractive.
yeah, so I'd say
Swole.
Henry Cavill as the Witcher. Poison, because I haven't seen him in anything else. Poison Ivy and Chris Evans.
Did you see Knives Out with Chris Evans? I like it.
I did
wanna see
not.
that still.
And I actually, I would really, and I haven't seen Man of Steel, which is Henry Cavill, right?
I mean,
But I follow him
forgettable.
on Instagram, and he's actually really funny. Like he's a really seems like a really decent. So I'd say as far as my top 3, those would be my top.
okay.
I would recommend Knives Out. If you like, have you seen the old Clue movie?
I haven't, but I've watched a lot of Agatha Christie mystery movies,
Yeah,
and that's that's apparently what it's based on.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You should also.
Yeah.
watch
Oh
that
no, I
too.
would love to see it. I just never got around to seeing it in theaters.
Well, for me,
Tali Zora coming in at a 4th because I
Uh.
didn't get a 4th. So
that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah.
She got hips that do not lie.
yeah, it's true.
Well, for me,
Is it Jim Carrey starring as the mask?
11 out of 10.
What?
69 out of 60. 100%. Jim Carrey is the mask.
Something Ipswich, right?
What,
Stanley?
Ryan?
I was trying to remember the mask without the name in that movie.
I don't know.
Oh, the guy's actual name?
Yeah. Do you
Forgettable.
think because the
Stanley.
mask in the mask is Loki's mask, it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or no?
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes. Mask for cinematic MCU. That's the crossover we've been waiting for.
Yeah. This is the most ambitious crossover in history.
Anyway, before my turn is taken away again,
Sorry.
I'll do it right now.
definitely up there. Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. He is gorgeous, first of all. Second of all, he's jacked, and thirdly, his voice. I could listen to Sam Fisher talk all day.
You like
None of-
young Sam Fisher or him with a beard?
Older Sam Fisher, Conviction Sam Fisher specifically.
See, now I have to ask you this. If
Got
you
a
think
lot of insight.
Sam Fisher is the cat's pajamas. What do you think of Solid Snake?
Solid
That's what
Snake.
I was gonna ask. Walter, they look the same.
No, they don't.
Maybe
say.
Gio only likes guys with 2 eyes.
Oh
my-
Well, no,
Wait,
Snake
no,
had 2
Sam
eyes
Fisher has
originally. He,
3.
like, lost his, like,
His goggles
eye.
have 3 though.
Not when they're on. He still has 2 eyes, my guy.
You can't prove
Well, dude,
that.
what? Well, Snake still uses night vision goggles too.
When you type in Solid Snake, it auto-populates Dummy Thick. It's like the 4th option.
Nice. I didn't
Mine
get it.
doesn't do that unless I'm just like you have to use Google actually.
So that's probably 3. Sergeant Avery Johnson from Halo specifically Halo 2 Remastered. Again, looks great. Again, sounds great. I could listen to that man speak all day. Sergeant Avery Johnson. Let me get you guys a little snippet. Where is he?
Oh my PNG didn't. There we go.
There,
you go.
I literally had the same image. You were just a second faster than me.
Sergeant
Johnson.
Johnson knows what the ladies want.
He knows what the ladies like.
And I think, doesn't he say like the full name of the like the tank they use or something like that? Let me see. Hold on. Oh, dude, Sergeant Johnson, by far favorite, actually one of my favorite video game characters on it. Yep, there it is. Play for
Oh, chills. I love him. He's so hot.
Okay, then what's up on number 1? What's up?
Garrus Vakarian? Mass Effect? Hello? Without question, Garrus Vakarian. Scar and all. Voice, sexy Scar, probably an enormous cock. Dummy thick. Oh, bother. Okay. Any other honorable mentions? Anything else you feel like deserves to be added? Okay, what is it, dear?
David Tennant. But like specifically, like I would say when he played the Doctor, I would say he probably wouldn't have been, even though he's my favorite Doctor. I would say like when he's just casually like talking in an interview, like, and he does this like draping thing with his like 6'3" body. It's like like Geo, but
same.
Like just like
moisture intensifies.
I did not know this, but he is Scottish.
Yeah.
And when he played Doctor Who, they asked him to be English, like have an English accent, which he can do very well, obviously. And when he gives interviews, he doesn't bother. And so he speaks in a very strong Scottish accent. And I don't know what it is about like British accents that aren't English and that aren't Tom Hiddleston, but I could listen to an Irish or Scottish or Welsh accent for like 1,000 years.
Yeah. He was in an HBO show this last year called Camping.
Yes, he was, and he was in Broadchurch, and I loved him in Broadchurch.
But I love him with an American accent. I think he is like in Camping. He is just like a husband who's trying not to make his wife mad, and I think he's very attractive.
Yeah, and he just like he can do dark and brooding just as well as he can do like puppy dog, and I just like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Any other honorable mentions?
I just remember, and this is because this was like my crush from when I used to be like watching Nickelodeon when I was like younger, dude. It has to be Jade West from Victoria.
Nice.
No,
yes,
she was
not the character, but just the actor in general too.
Oh.
Like, both.
No, she wasn't the main character. She was the edgy.
She was my main character.
Girlfriend.
She was like ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
She
like
was the
rivals with Tori the whole time, but they got along in the end.
Nice. Oh, Gal Gadot.
Sure.
I'm just gonna stop there.
See,
the other one.
I respectfully disagree. I don't think she's.
Oh my god.
I don't think she's up there. She's attractive, but I don't think she's up there.
I would let Gal Gadot crush me with her thighs. That's unquestionable.
Yummy. Ryan, an honorable mention?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of. I like Kelly though. Honorable.
Fair enough.
I think
So sweet.
Mine is Sledge. Just big meat hands.
Sledge.
Meat hands.
Meat hands.
Like,
Meat
I
hands.
don't care much for his face. He would
yeah, I
have
was
to,
gonna say, like, his
he would-
elite skin, I don't know.
he would have to keep the mask on. But
I'm sensing
he's-
a mask
he's-
trend.
he's got
yeah,
the
it's usually,
body.
like,
He's got the
facial.
body.
Gotta think for like.
You just like him
military
because he's
guys.
taller
You-
than you.
What?
Yeah.
You like him because he's taller than you. You could be the little spoon.
Oh.
Well, that's
you can be
also a
the little
plus.
spoon if you're tall.
But yeah,
Yo, I think I might dare say you have a type.
yeah,
Tall military guy.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, Sledge is only an inch taller than me.
Okay.
It's the inch that counts, Gio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would you know?
No.
I was gonna make a joke, but
That's all right. Okay,
It's the. I'm sorry, babe.
we're gonna go to the other end of the spectrum. What are your 0 out of 10s? Just like you look at them, you're like, ugh, ugh. You want
I
to
got you.
vomit. And it
At
doesn't have to be
0.
looks necessarily. Like if it's
Oh.
just a 0 out of 10 personality, that counts.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes.
That is 0 out of 10. Disgusting. Go. One more. Another one.
Oh my god.
Udix
Yzma,
Gundyr from
Emperor's New
the-
Groove. 0 out of 10.
Yes.
0 to 10. I would say
0
it
out
was
of
0. It's gonna be Udix Gundyr, the first boss of Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah, yucky.
I don't like him because I can't beat the game now.
The
Faster.
Thresher Moth from Mass Effect.
Every like weird DNA symbiote from that Rainbow Six zombie update they did, they were disgusting. I'll be
I
real.
never saw it. I refuse to watch it. I don't. Zombies are not. Oh, there's one that I know and that I just
Ursula.
can't think of.
Yeah, that she's up there.
The Sea
Who?
Witch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mainly because she's just a bad person.
Who? I'm sorry.
Ursula.
the Sea
Oh,
Witch.
Ursula. No, there's somebody that I'm.
One of like my 100% 0 out of 10. Melina from Mortal Kombat. No, too
Oh,
much
big
teeth.
giant mouse lady?
No teeth. Too many teeth. Too many teeth. 0 out of 10.
I don't know. I
Who's it?
can't.
Yeah, Melina's
yeah,
kind of
no,
freaky.
Yeah,
I don't- you know,
zero,
keep the ma-
0 out
I'll
of
be
10.
real. As man, like you got girl, you have to keep the mask on. I'm sorry. Or at
Same
least we
with
gotta get you an
same
orthodontist.
thing with
In
Sledge.
the Mortal Kombat line, who's the bug lady?
Devora.
Yeah, no, not about that.
Not
about
about
that?
that.
Devora.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh my
Ooh.
god. No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
girl, we'll hook you up with a plastic surgeon, an orthodontist. You good to go.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
You're kind of cute, but like,
Shoulders
No,
down,
that's-
yes. Shoulders
That's
up,
amazing.
no.
but it's mainly not even that. It's just really like from the neck to like under the nose.
No, thank you.
You know,
Emperor Palpatine, 0 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, all versions of Emperor Palpatine?
every-
Post lightning
About,
hands.
Like, Phantom Menace?
I just don't like his personality. He's kind of creepy to me.
Yeah, I mean, 0 out of 10 personality as
his,
well.
his demeanor is
Yeah.
just not the best.
Like, you cannot tell me that this, in any way, shape, and or form, invokes attraction.
Not about that.
That's a no.
I
from
don't
me,
know.
too.
There's honestly I don't particularly like Moira.
That was gonna be one of mine. I don't
she
like
kinda
Sigma.
scares me.
I don't like Sigma because of his feet.
Yeah.
Too many toes.
Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like Moira would kill me in my sleep.
I really,
She 100% would kill you in your sleep.
I'm gonna be real. What really freaked in
Why is his toes coming?
was Red Skull.
Yeah, definitely.
MCU.
Wait, pre Red
do not
Skull
like-
or after he has a change of heart?
Well, I don't particularly care for a Nazi.
He gets
also,
better. He learns. his
after,
way.
well, I mean, particularly after. I really do not like it when you get the like I've seen one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen is in the third Harry Potter movie when Remus Lupin turns into the werewolf and like the horrible like stretching cracking noise that happens. Just
0
All
out of
werewolves
0 out of
do?
10.
Wait, just the sound. Just the sound is your 0 out of 10
no,
attraction.
but like the way that they show it, I can't do it.
Oh, I got you.
Also, I really do not like the Dementors. With the like dead skin thing. I can't.
They really do.
I'll have to look these up because. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll give you know what? How about a 4 out of 10? Thanos.
What if you factor in his being a semi-good father?
Was
He
he?
was no. He was
Ryan,
terrible.
Okay. But he was
He-
better than the men who leave their children.
You mean
So,
in the
Well,
movie
okay.
they kind of were genocided? They didn't have a choice.
Okay,
no,
I
I'm just
see
talking
where
about the
Ryan.
general mood of
Ryan,
the
I
universe.
do see where you're coming from.
No,
He didn't not provide for his
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
here I'll put it in this perspective.
He cybernetically tortured one of his daughters.
Okay,
He was not
now,
the best
Did you
dad,
know
I would say.
Nebula before the movies?
not
Yes.
okay.
No.
He's not. We're not saying he's winning any awards, but
He's not
like
winning any awards. He does not even have a best
he
dad
takes
mug.
care of them in the
No.
loosest sense.
Yeah, like he provides them with food and water, but he's still just
Yeah.
a really bad dad.
And weapons.
He's still a bad
And
dad.
cybernetic, non-consensual cybernetic enhancements.
He emotionally,
yeah, that's
like-
true.
Tell
That's
me
true.
If you woke up with a super cool cybernetic eye, you'd be mad.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
First
would
of
be
all,
if
Dad,
no one
where's my
asked
eye?
me.
I feel like you'd still be pretty happy.
No, it'd be like I'd accept the power that was in my hands, but still,
In your
where's
head,
my
actually.
eye?
Yeah,
Like, you could have at least asked. I would have
You
said
can
yes.
you can ask.
I don't think
I'm
she
sure
had
that
any
someone knows
choices.
exactly where all of her
No,
X-
Anyway.
definitely not.
Another one for me is Undead Nicole from Dead Space 2. Oh my god. No thank you. Everything is so wrong with her all the time.
I think that a couple of seasons of Supernatural that I watched. I don't remember if this is Supernatural, but there is something where the demon characters have snake eyes. Like their eyes have the really skinny ovular
Yeah, I think I know.
thing, and they blink side.
To be honest, the alien from the episode of Doctor Who that they let the fans write, where he like absorbed people's faces, that is 0 out of 10.
Wait, which doctor?
I think it was Tennant.
Ooh, I just
The
You
one
guys,
where he absorbs people's
Ryan.
faces?
your statement just reminded me of something. This is it.
Oh,
Ko the Face Stealer, 0 out of 10.
yes.
Yeah.
ooh, yeah.
The only one I can think of is The Wire.
I'll show you.
Is it like with
show?
the coronation? Like the Elizabeth's coronation?
No, it's like a standalone episode.
Oh my god, yes! Oh Jesus.
What is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
The silence. The silence from Doctor Who.
More than the Ood, I hate the Ood. They freak me out.
Okay, the Ood, like, I can kind of understand. But like the Ood I'm kind of okay with. I don't know. But like the silence or the noise that the silence make. And just the general hold on. Let me. And also the
Oh.
whole idea is the silence, the idea is like, you know when you walk in a room and you forget why you're there?
Yeah.
It's because you've seen the silence and they make you forget that you've seen.
Yeah.
And
I
I
remember one. I wanna say,
Any of the Left 4 Dead 2 like ultimate
Let's
zombie.
see.
Oh, the
Malthus
tank?
from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Yeah, oh my god.
Ryan the Tank.
The tank and like the spitter and the witch. All of them.
Oh, just the special infected. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're not good.
Here, this is a silence.
Yeah, Silent God.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's not.
And then also Cassandra from Doctor Who.
Oh my god.
The fact that it just has like a normal name just means like you're just
No,
being really mean to
she is
somebody.
literally the last human on Earth, and she is a piece of skin on a drying.
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking. So I've seen one episode of Doctor Who.
With a face.
I'm
Thank you,
gonna,
Alex.
I'm
She
gonna
does
get
have
like
a face.
killed in the freaking.
She also's got like veins and such.
She
Yeah.
is human.
Here, sorry, Ryan.
Ish.
Okay.
Hey,
What?
that's the last human.
Oh, the last original human on Earth, I think, is the
Oh.
idea.
They could've
Wow,
never,
that's
like, learned from
yummy.
Justice.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Alec just said she's unedited, so she's the last pure human on Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, really be like
And
that.
Geo, going off of Melina Baraka in Mortal
See,
Kombat.
but at least he looks the same as all the other of his race. Melina is a human hybrid. So
yeah, you're just Uncanny Valley with
yeah, at least Baraka looks like the rest of his people. Like I can't give him that much of a hard time because that's just how they look like.
That's a species. That's
And
what they
that's
look.
almost the same thing for Devora. Devora technically looks like the same of her species,
Yeah, but
but
I'm not gonna touch a giant
still 0 out of 10.
insect.
I would also have to say the from the Men in Black movie, I think the first one, the cockroach.
Oh yeah, he's pretty nasty.
Oh yeah,
I
that's a 0
had
out of 10.
nightmares about that for weeks. And Voldemort's face out of the back of Coral's head in the first Harry Potter movie.
Oh, and Voldemort, like,
And
as
also
a
Voldemort in general,
baby.
but like that one in particular.
I got the best one, you guys. You're gonna agree with me. Let me see what. Oh, what's his name again?
He's
I was gonna
he's
post
like, I got it. That
I
doesn't have
got
it.
this one. I forgot his name. I believe I forgot his name.
Well,
Wasn't it nice?
Honestly, he's just a terrible person.
that counts.
Yes!
It's Randall.
Oh my god.
Randall from Monsters Inc.
Gio, look what I just found on a ugliest video game characters list.
How dare you?
He's not ugly. It's just that we don't like what he does.
I would also say, have you guys seen, I know Gio hasn't, but have you seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I have.
Uh
Who is it?
oh fuck. It's not Greed. It's the little
Right.
round one.
Remember, we just
Gluttony?
used to send this to each other
Gluttony?
back and forth for
Yeah.
hours.
When he like opens up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was kind of gross.
That's
I was
terrifying
like,
to me. I
oh.
hate. And also Gluttony, like the character really freaks.
Yeah, he's a little weird. Here, I'm gonna put a picture.
Or Envy when he's like actually in true form.
I think Gluttony's they're androgynous. I think they
Yeah.
look like a guy, but they're actually a girl.
Yeah, I don't see. I thought I think it's the opposite. I don't know.
I thought he was always a dude who just was supposed to be a lady. And I was like,
I don't
okay,
know. I have
good
no
for you.
idea. Yeah, Gluttony
What's up?
terrifies me. You're talking about too many teeth, Gio. That's a lot.
Well,
That's a
there's more.
that's a lot. He and Melina would get along.
Yeah, it
was-
just I feel like Full Metal Alchemist. There's a lot of really horrifically disgusting things. Oh God. Well, it's not characters we don't like. So never mind. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna cry.
Why?
Never mind.
I mean, who do you think is a 0 out of 10?
No, this was off topic. This was not. It wasn't following the.
Oh, I don't know if any of you guys played KOTOR 2, but Darth Sion is a 0 out of 10.
Ugh.
He's a yucky
I-
boy.
If we're comparing Palpatine to him, I think Palpatine goes up a few.
Palpatine goes up a couple notches because of that.
Yeah, we're talking about Sith Lords.
Actually, you know what? Kelly's gonna agree with me on this one.
Yes.
Yes. That's all I gotta put.
Deeply.
Deeply.
Oh my God. That's who I'm thinking of, right? Where he's like getting reinstated, and he with the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You,
That's it.
Walter, you
That's
heard
it.
me start to speak, and you knew
I
what I was about
knew-
to say. You
So I knew you
knew
were thinking of the kid. I was like, not the kid, but the
Walter,
dad.
literally that. I've never hated a character character more. I have literally never viscerally hated someone more than I did that man.
Yeah, you don't forget everything I said. He's
You
definitely
should
that.
really
way.
watch the show, Joe.
Dude, you have to watch the show. It's really
Eventually.
side topic. You guys have not seen Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Take a
Well,
watch.
Well, I volunteer that we have. But this is it's off topic. I'm sorry again.
I was thinking of having like an anime day or something like that. We can talk
I was gonna say when
every now and
Alec and I move back, you guys should all come over and we'll have
binge watch Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah.
That's
Great.
like one of the ones people say is the classic.
It's a classic.
Full Metal Alchemist
Right.
Brotherhood, yeah. Anyway.
Any more 0 out of 10s? Do you think we've got a bunch of the major ones?
I think we definitely have caught.
Yeah.
I'm
I
surprised.
mean, Kimberly also from Full Metal Alchemist. I really don't like his hair.
Just
It really freaks me out. And also, like, how pointy his face is. I just don't like it. Like, he looks like.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, that. I have no idea how to
Oh,
describe it.
Jar Jar
really.
Binks. Jar Jar Binks. I don't care if he looks like the rest of the Gungans. No.
I think Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fuck Weevil. Fuck it.
Exactly.
Can I retract my most my what's it called? Most attractive characters and pick Trubio from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Nice.
How do you even spell Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh is
Yugiioh.
is this Japanese? What the heck? Actually, I don't think it's
It's Japanese.
Egyptian.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I don't have any more. So.
Yu-Gi-Oh! In the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga, instead of sending people to the Shadow Realm,
They just died.
Yu-Gi mostly.
I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Room, Jimbo.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Huge Neutron.
Q Neutron is a 0?
No, it's a 10 out of 10.
Okay, good. 12 out of 10 if you factor in the fact that he comes with a duck collection.
I've had to.
Oh my god.
You should have said that when you said that.
What?
No, when you sent now kiss earlier. That.
Well, yeah.
Send you to the Shadow Room.
Looks like you're going to the Shadow Realm, Mo.
Jimmy Neutron was a good show.
Was.
I had a very long conversation about animated television shows earlier. There's a lot.
Okay.
Walter, what do you think about Ben 10?
Which version?
The original?
We'll start with
The original. Original was great. The one where it was, how was it animated? It was like chibi animation. Did not like that one at all.
Yeah.
Then where he actually looks more realistic was good too. I think until like a certain point, I think like halfway through, to start really like we need more episodes kind of like moment.
Yeah.
So definitely original Ben 10, and then like the third series.
Thanks. I was just curious. I want to hear
It's a
people's opinions. I once
classic.
accidentally stumbled upon a YouTube video of this guy being like, Ben 10 is the most powerful being in the universe and here. And I watched it. as well.
Actually, you know, in a way he is. Like if you ever take the time to read. Yeah, you
Actually,
can.
Ultra Instinct Goku?
Okay,
No.
Goku versus Ben 10.
But like, oh god, this is a different day episode. We
Yeah,
have
this
to
is- this
not
is-
go into this.
Do we have any other 0 out of 10s? Or anything else to like?
By the way, this is all completely subjective. It's nothing serious.
Yeah, like, and also, feel free to comment what your top 3 and bottom 3 are.
Also,
What?
this is going to be real fun to listen to because we sent each other all of these images and we're just very graphic. Like, Walter sent a picture of Randall Boggs and didn't say Randall Boggs.
I'm not gonna say the name. You should know who these people are unless you're
Yeah,
like
just
12.
from-
Yo, that guy is straight up sent to the Shadow Realm.
He's folded like an omelet. What else? Did you put
Alrighty.
anything else on this list, Jam?
Nope,
Was
not
that-
for this one.
Not for this one.
You know, I think we did it. We made it about an hour. Wow.
Yeah.
We're
we
pretty
did.
much right over an hour at this point.
Alrighty. Well.
All right.
Yeah, that was Valentine's Day here at Haven. Yeah, if you are we is that about it?
Yeah,
Do you
I think
Valentine's
so.
Day is
We
Okay.
need an we need to make an outro.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for listening to this one. We were looking again at Anchor last night. I think it's probably gonna happen.
Hey,
It seems to be the easiest. It seems to be just kind of really hands off. Thank you to Ryan for suggesting it for us.
Wait, Anchor? Oh wait, dude.
Yeah, speaking of which, Walter, you need to set us up like all of the accounts, all of them.
Yeah, because Walter, Anchor will post to Spotify for me.
Oh wow.
And
So
to
if
all
you
of the other
tried using
platforms.
Anchor for my D&D podcast that I was trying to work on. It sadly didn't fall through, but Anchor was not having it with us. So happy that's
Really?
working now. Yeah, it was really
Oh, it seems like really streamlined for me. I don't know if it doesn't work when we actually go to post a podcast, we'll
Do
not
it manually.
with it.
Well, Anchor, if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, please help us out.
Yeah, if you're willing to
love it,
sponsor us,
We'll
it also
sponsor you.
the
You
thing-
sponsor us.
yeah. But yeah, thank you
Other
so much for
companies.
listening to this podcast. Yeah, if you would like, please leave your top 3 and your bottom 3. I guess is that what?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
least. Yeah, your most attractive top 3 pop culture characters and your least attractive pop culture reference characters. In the comments if you would like. Happy Valentine's Day or Singles Awareness Day, whichever you prefer. From Haven. We love you all, and we'll catch you all on the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.